First off, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to those apostles and elders from Great Millstone who teach and rule well. A lot of respect to you brothers out there on the highways and byways, preaching this truth around the four corners of the earth. And salutations to the hopeful that you guys may be sealed soon. And with that, this your brother DeWalt Bar from the branch of GMS here in Chicago. And you know, here it is. It's on the 33rd day of the government strike. And this also the second day of the SNAP benefits being shut down. You know, and you had that judge that sit up here and just told him that the Trump administration that they got to release the funds. You know, and here it is with Trump. He's fiddly-dillying around, you know, coming up with excuses on releasing the funds, especially since the government is shut down. So I guess that has everything to do with it. But this is the second day, and I've been listening to a few YouTubers. One is called Angry Man. Another one I just listened to, I can't remember the name of the guy. I did pull him up. If I think of it, I'll say it. But they were talking about how a lot of people weren't going to the stores. You know, Angry Man was saying that, and a few other people were saying that when they went to the stores, no one was there. No one was getting anything. And they were talking about how the store owners were saying that if this keep up, a lot of them relied on them SNAP benefits, on the WIC. I mean, the SNAP benefits, the welfare checks and stuff like that to keep their businesses. Some of them relied on it over 50%. So you got to think about it. It's just not going to affect you so-called black women, you so-called black men, you know, these heathens. It's going to affect these stores, you know. And when people ain't buying food, guess what? These stores ain't going to stay in business. If they ain't staying in business and keeping stuff on shelves, guess what? It's going to affect the cargo that's coming in. So this is a trickle-down effect. So it's just something to think about. But with that being said, let me sit up here and let this play and grab a few scriptures.
On the edge of a hunger crisis, as SNAP federal food assistance runs out of money. Even after a federal judge ordered the Trump administration to use emergency funds, the White House argues it's not legally allowed to use the money, leaving the 42 million Americans who rely on SNAP in limbo. President Trump says he's instructed government lawyers to find a legal path to restore SNAP funding, but acknowledges benefits will still be delayed. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries blasting the president.
The Trump administration needs to release these benefits. They have the funds for a contingency situation like we confront.
But as the shutdown drags on for more than a month, Democrats still holding firm for an extension of Obamacare tax credits to keep healthcare costs for some 20 million Americans from skyrocketing. Obamacare open enrollment begins this weekend, and many are already feeling the sticker shock. In Virginia, Beth Ryder's monthly premium jumping from $80 to $425.
This is more than quadrupled in cost for me. So it's just straight out. There's no way I would be able to afford this next year.
And thousands of air traffic controllers working without pay for weeks. Nearly 80% in New York have called out, facing stress and fatigue. With staffing shortages triggering delays across the country, now 4 of the nation's largest airlines pleading lawmakers to reopen the government.
It's putting stress on people. It's not fair to those people. It's also putting stress on the economy.
Even as more than 1 million federal workers, like those air traffic controllers, are working without pay, lawmakers, guys on Capitol Hill, are still getting their paychecks. And we are still in the standstill because you've got Republicans on one hand, they're refusing to negotiate while the government is shut down, while Democrats say they are standing firm on their health care demands, so really no end in sight to this.
And millions of Americans still trying to figure out what comes next.
Exactly.
All right, Selena, great to have you here in New York. We appreciate it.
So there you go. So you sit up here and heard what they said, man. You know, here it is that, hey, it's putting stress on the economy, you know. A lot of these store owners are complaining, man, because no one's coming in and buying. You know, and guess what that's going to cause? That's going to cause a lot of problems in itself. We always say the trickle-down effect, that domino effect, man. You know, people sit up here and think that just because it affects one group, it affects all. You know, we waiting for this. We want this to happen. But you got a lot of fools out there that sit up here and say, well, yeah, good for them. You know, this and that. I'm not understanding that a lot of these stores get a lot of this money from the SNAP, the welfare, those benefits. And without that money coming in and that revenue, guess what? It causes these stores to have to hold back, you know, shut down some of the, not get certain things, or they're going to lose money, you know, and stuff like that. And sometimes they got to cut back prices. And guess what that's going to do? Stores already got to rely on bulk. Like the dude said, they rely on bulk. You know, stores, it was in the other video. They rely on bulk. They rely on selling in bulk to make a majority of their money because they only earn pennies on the dollar. So with that being said, man, hey, look, man, shit could hit the fan any moment, man. The longer this government shutdown is, you know, the longer these people ain't getting paid, the more antsy they're going to get, the more angry they're going to get. The more these people ain't getting their benefits, the more crazy they're going to get and want to start doing all the stuff they saying, stealing and everything. But also that's going to cause them stores to fall too. And a lot of other things that go right along with it. So with that, man, let me sit up here and grab a few scriptures. The first scripture that I'm going to sit up here and grab is, and this is going to come, you know, hey, you know, people keep playing around. This is second Esdras. What is that, 6? Second Esdras 6, and what is that, 22? And it says, and this second Esdras 6 and 22. And it says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And that's not only becoming because people are going to sit up here and be robbing and stealing. No, that's going to also come from a majority of cargo. If people ain't buying nothing and they ain't selling nothing, you know, a lot of these stores going to close down. A lot of these shelves are going to be emptied. You know, you think about it, man. If I'm a store owner and I'm not selling anything, I'm only going to buy what I think is necessary for me to stay open. And then on top of that, if I'm still not doing anything, guess what? I'm closing down. And that doesn't go with all the robberies and thieves that's going to be coming in, or people coming in and just buying up everything, you know, because of the times. You're going to find a lot of places, man, that's going to be empty real soon. And it's going to be for various reasons. Those reasons I named. You know, food, man, is going to become scarce real quick, real soon. Hey, ICE agents sitting up here grabbing up everybody, the Northern Kingdom, the Southern Kingdom. You know, crops ain't getting picked. A lot of these farmers got to throw this shit away, man. A lot of stuff is happening. It just ain't with the WIC. It just ain't with the SNAP benefits. And then you sit up here talking about these people with the Obamacare, how they got to sit up here and pay everything, man. Hey, we keep on telling everybody what's about to happen, and people ain't paying attention. Now it's going to be too goddamn late. Which leads me to go, here. Let me go ahead and go to Habakkuk, chapter 2. It says, Habakkuk 2 and 1, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon a tower and will watch to see what he will say unto me and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables that he may run that readeth it. And what's the tables? That's the Bible, man. He may run that readeth it. You got the elects, man. The elect, the prophets out here. Personally, the prophets, so that's what I meant. The prophets out here telling people, man, what's going on. Letting you know what's about to happen before it happens, man. You know. They prophesy to say before. So we letting you know what's happening before it happened through the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. A lot of people ain't listening. And it's going to be too goddamn late. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry, and there you go. You know, everything is about to come, man, full steam ahead. Everything is about to come full circle, man. This devil want this shit up, this economy to collapse. He want people to go into chaos. He want people to go into civil war. He want nation against nation. He want people to go into sedition. You know, fighting against the government. Just so what? They can bring in that order ab chaos. Order out of chaos, man. They new world order on top of that. And the main thing they want to sit up here, usher in, is the MOTB. You know, they want to have everybody see here so they can control everything you do, control your money, know where you are at all times, keep an eye on you, know what you're spending. They want to be just like God. And they're going to find out pretty soon they just men. But that's what you see going on in the world nowadays, man. So much stuff is happening. Here it is. Let me go to Ecclesiastes 12. It says, this is Ecclesiastes 12. The point is a little further down, but I'm going to start at 1. It says, remember thou now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Hey, we got to remember the Lord right now while we have the chance. That's what he's saying. You know, before the evil days come. What are those evil days? First and foremost, Jacob's troubles, nation against nation. But the real evil day is going to be when the nuclear missiles hit, when the Lord returns. You know, while the sun or the light or the moon, the stars be darkened, not be darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. And that's going to definitely be the day of the Lord, man. When he come in them stars, the stars going everything's going to be dark, gloomy. Hey, look at the movie Independence Day. What happened, man, when that big ass ship showed up? It blotted out everything. You couldn't see shit. You know, 15-mile ship, man. You know, and that lets you know these elites know, because they know that's what the Lord gonna. Hey, it might not be that type of ship, but the Lord gonna be returning in those chariots. They're not UFOs, they chariots. You know, but here's the point I really want today. It says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong man shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened. And there you go. What are those keepers? That's like your stockbrokers, people that keep the money. You know, them elites. Those are your keepers of the house, man. The people that got the money. You know, the strong men shall bind themselves and the grinders cease, man, because they are few. You know, you got a lot of people out here, man, that's just saying fuck these jobs and don't want to be around them no more. You know, they ain't getting no money off of them. They ain't getting paid nothing, pennies. You're working your ass off. And then now you got the grinders being few, because guess what? They shut down the government. So a lot of these people are calling off because they pissed off, angry. You know? How you doing? And that's the thing, man. So you see much going on, man. Much going on. You know, a lot of people sitting up here getting mad about, a lot of people sitting up here angry, man. Pissed off, man. Pissed off because these motherfuckers see that these Edomites see that their world is going down. See that everything's crumbling, you know? And they're going to look for people to blame, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, but not understanding that their own government is the reason behind everything. A lot of things is about to kick up, man, and this devil's about to come down, man. You know what? I'm going to read a little bit more of this. This is Ecclesiastes 12 and 4. And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. And he shall rise up as the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. And you see the noise going down the street. A lot of AI is taking over everything. A lot of people ain't working. And a few people that are working, man, they working angrily because a lot of these federal governments ain't getting paid. And a lot of these federal people ain't getting paid, you know? And not just that, you got people out here on regular jobs, man, that's pissed off, man. You know? Because, hey, they looking out that window. Oh, no, and in that third part, it said looking out the windows, they be darkened. When it says looking out the windows, they be darkened, because guess what? People don't see no future. People don't see a life ahead. People only see nothing but badness. And that's what's about to happen. Salaki, I didn't get that part. The doors shut up in the street, the grinding. What's the grinding of work? All that's going to be shut down, man. And then all these things are coming, man. It's coming. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of motherfucking time. You know, and when all this shit happens, that's when this devil going to come with that devil going to come with that great wrath. Because he know that he got a short time. I'm going to go ahead and get it. And I'm going to end it on that. And this is Revelations 12 and 12. It says, therefore rejoice ye. You know what? Now I'm going to go straight to the point. It says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the habits of the earth and of the sea, for the devil's come down into you having great wrath, because he know it that he have for a short time. This devil going to come with that great wrath, man. Shutting down the economy. Sitting up here. He already coming. Wait, northern kingdom, southern kingdom. This ICE deportation. This motherfucking devil already sitting up here causing the government shutdown. He coming with that wrath. What you think this is? Oh, this is just the beginning of a lot of pain that's about to happen. You know, but we rejoicing because the quicker he come, the better it is for us, because the kingdom is coming, you know. But he only got a short period of time. So with that, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, By Hashem Rakakwadash, double honors to those apostles and elders from Great Millstone who teach and rule well. A lot of respect to you brothers out there on the highways and byways preaching this truth around the four corners of the earth. And salutations to the hopeful elect that you guys may be sealed soon. And with that, I always say stay prayed up, brothers. Pray for each other because we almost up out of here. So with that, I'd like to say Kwam Yasharella and a Baba Ball. And Anya Habikam Amakia. Shalom.